When you get into the field of the paranormal, there are a few names that become synonymous with such a field. You may think of Elizabeth and Ed Warren. You may think of Zach Bagans. You may think of those two BuzzFeed guys. I don't know their names. If you're me, though, with an extensive fear of aliens, you know the most infamous man in terms of alien abductions, for many reasons. Today, we are talking about someone I've known about for a long time, but I haven't seen covered here very much. Today, we are talking about the man, the myth, the felon, Stan Romanek. Before we get started, I just want to say shout out to my man, Cody Rhodes. He finished the story. Thank God. Now we can all hate him. And I also want to say this video is brought to you by my Patreon. Yeah, I do have a Patreon. I post some fun stuff there. I think after this, I'm going to film a Patreon exclusive where I go through my entire Blu-ray collection, and it's going to take so long, but give me $1. But yeah, there's still one more spot left. If you take that spot, I will make any video you want within reason. Some things you have to pay extra for. And yeah, a link down below. So in case you've never heard of Stan Romanek, he's a crazy guy. I feel like most people would know Stan Romanek from the documentary that was released about him in 2017, I believe. That's where a lot of people that I know first came in contact with him, and I forgot the name of it. So if you give me one second to figure out the name of that movie. Extraordinary, the Stan Romanek story. That's it. It was released on Netflix in 2017. I know my facts. And honestly, a lot of the facts I'm going to talk about come from that documentary, because when you try and research Stan Romanek, all you really get is the Wikipedia and that movie, and that's it. Which is strange, because he's had a lot of appearances on shows like Larry King and CNN, to which I just cannot find any archives of, which is insane to me with how big those shows were. But interspliced with me telling you the story is also going to be my live reaction to that documentary, as I had not watched it in forever and forgot how fucking funny it was. So, as I speak on the matter at hand, you'll get to see my live reaction to that stuff. Woo! So let's get started, as the Black Eyed Peas would say. You know, after they changed the title. Look up the original title to Let's Get It Started. You have a fun time. So, Mr. Stan Tiger Romanek. The one sentence in, already sounds like he's making shit up. That is his real middle name. Was born on December 1st, 1962. He grew up in a rough neighborhood. Apparently got jumped by Bloods and Crips all the time, because he was the only white kid based. So
I had the added discomfort of suffering from severe dyslexia, and in those days I didn't know much about my learning disability. And they don't even think it's a learning disability anymore, but I was always put in classes with, in special ed classes with the retarded kids. I remember I had a teacher make fun of me in front of the class and then grab me and throw me in a closet and lock me in a closet and said, "This is where we put retards." And yeah, it was terrifying. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. And I had gang members around me all the time, because of the neighborhood we lived in. I had the Crips on one side, the Bloods on the other, and they were constantly fighting amongst themselves. And I was always have stab wounds and stuff like that.
This man was getting gang jumped.
And they used to pick on me a lot because, number one, I was the only white kid. Number two, I had a learning disability. And I had to learn to fight because of it.
That's really all I know about his childhood, because again, I'm only getting information from him, and he doesn't really talk much about it, so I'm just going to move on to the stuff you're here for. His first report of any sort of extraterrestrial contact was in 2000. He was driving along a highway when he saw a bunch of cars stopped on the side of the road, and to which he looked and saw an object at the height of some power lines, and then it shot up into the air. He grabbed his camera, picked it up, and he said that the object was tilted to look directly at him. From the video, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a pretty usual UFO, but we only have his word to go by, so figure it out, I guess. Now, most people would have a UFO sighting, right? I believe to have seen a couple UFOs in my day. Normally, it just goes, hey, look, a UFO. And you kind of go on about your day and forget about it, because what the fuck are you gonna do? But Stan was not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
Stan had over 190 plus encounters with extraterrestrials. I'm gonna say that again. 190 is insane. No matter what way you look at it. I've known some pretty out there people who claim to have been abducted by aliens. Usually they only go as far as to say, oh, it was like a couple of times, maybe 5 max. 190. At what point do you get abducted that many times? Like, granted, not all of those 190 are abductions, but at what point do you just start going, man, I should probably move. We should probably go somewhere outside the US or something. This is holy shit. Because I get abducted once. Hey, shame on me. I wasn't watching my back well enough. Get abducted twice. Hey, obviously I'm interesting. Get abducted 190 times. I'm starting to think I might just want to live with them at that point. Just be like, hey, since you like me so much, you might as well take me to space, I got kids up here. We'll get to that. He claims, that I'm going to look at my notes here because he has some wild claims. He claims to have been visited, abducted, experimented on, forced to breed with another human woman as well as alien women, and had human hybrid children. Don't you believe him? Yeah, yep. He claims all that, and he also claims that the government is after him. He once was jumped while riding on his bike and got told to keep his mouth shut. God, I was jumped riding a bike to work. They told me to keep my mouth shut. Damn. Was it the aliens? He, in the most over-the-top shit I've ever seen, he logged onto his computer and it just said, you cannot hide everywhere, which is definitely not something I would see in a really bad no-sleep story. You can't hide. Is found on all the computers, everything else is gone. Is this a fucking creepypasta? He also claimed to and recorded phone calls with some entity. Him and the documentary never explains who he's talking to, but they refer to him as Starseed and constantly tell him how important he is and just how awesome of a dude he is, and how the universe does not know how important Stan Romanek is. Stan's acting is not great. And in these recorded calls, you can hear it's like a robot lady, which makes me think it's not an alien. It's like a third party being like, hey, you know, I just fuck with these guys, but they fuck with you, so I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But now I'll go through some of his more famous stories and videos and stuff like that. Starting with one I hate. That's so he claims to have heard. I'm going off memory, so I'll intersplice, you know, the actual footage. But I remember he said that he heard a loud noise in the middle of the night, and he went to check the security camera, and he caught a beam of light flash down onto the sky, and it destroyed the security camera. And he shows photos of the sighting of the house, and the security camera's destroyed, and there's this black like ring around where the beam was. And then the next day, I believe it was the next day, these people just randomly show up and replace his sighting. And he texts the landlord, and the landlord's like, I didn't ask them to do that. And when he looked up the company that they claim to be a part of, they didn't exist. You know what you're thinking? That sounds pretty wild. I want you to take a look at this footage. Please. Sure looks like a flashlight. I'm no expert, but I know what a flashlight looks like. The fact that they prop this up as like irrefutable evidence. As for the people replacing the sighting, they don't give any receipts. Like, they don't show his text with the landlord. They don't ever show the logo of this supposed company or the van or anything. So you just kind of have to take his word on it. Which, you know, if the person I've described so far, you should definitely take his word on it. Yep. Next, I want to talk about, I believe in his knee, he had surgery due to a medical condition, and he had to wear a knee brace. And one day he claimed to be abducted. When he got back, his knee brace was gone, and his knee was magically healed. Like, again, I could be getting this wrong, but if I remember, he had an implant in the knee, and it was just gone the next day. And there's there's audio of him talking with the doctor about it, but again, we don't see the doctor, so there's no real telling if he's actually talking to a doctor. And when asked to show x-rays of this miracle, he said no, which isn't suspicious at all. He has many pictures of just random aliens being all out and about. Like, he has pictures of like friends and family, and there's just a little dude hanging out in the corner. Those are my favorite. Little dude. Little dude. Little dude. Oh, that guy's fucking zoinked out. he's chilling. Oh, look, this one on the right is just saying what's up. He's saying, hey. My favorite of these, though, is he had I believe it was a digital camera, and he claimed that aliens got into his house and took pictures with it. I always found these pictures kind of cute, of like aliens finding a digital camera and trying to figure out how it works, taking pictures of themselves. Look, he's even smiling. It's kind of cute. You gotta admit, it's kind of cute. And now I'm gonna get to the thing I hate, and it's orbs. If you're not in the paranormal community, orbs are a divisive topic, because some paranormal experts will say that orbs are a sign of of spirits or ghosts. I hate orbs because most of the time it's dust or bugs. And when you claim orbs to be evidence, kind of ruins your whole mystique here. I will say the videos that the documentaries show are definitely the most convincing orbs I've seen, because they're very, I don't know, they're very unique. They just look like giant lights moving across the screen. It looks decent. Like, if it's faked, it's crazy good. I'm sure there's some explanation for it, but I don't know. It's definitely not a bug. Definitely not dust, so... Orbs. Listen. I have been in the paranormal community for a long time. I hate the ideas of orbs, because it just dust and bugs could be mistaken as orbs, and I fucking hate it. This might be different. That looks... Never mind. Forget everything I said. But in a lot of videos that Stan uploads, you can see a lot of these orbs, and there is apparent damage in the house where they enter and exit. So, have that, I guess. My favorite part of the documentary is when his friend comes over and is like, "Hey, I think you have a ghost." Okay.
Starseed, it's time.
I like that he's fully convinced he's, like, being abducted, but this guy's like, "Hey, I think there's a ghost in your house." He's like, "All right, partner, calm down. Let's not get crazy." It's just so funny to be the guy who's constantly being like, "Yeah, I'm being abducted by aliens. You know, all this crazy shit is happening." And then your friend's like, "Hey, you have a ghost in your house." And he's like, "Let's not get crazy." Now we come to what you have probably seen before, even if you don't know who Stan Romanek is, and that is the Boo video. This is the video. If you've ever heard of Stan Romanek, this is the video you know. This was on Fact or Faked. This was like all over the internet. I remember back in the day. This was everywhere. Where is he? Where's my man? Where is he? Is he coming? There he is! I remember when I first saw this video, the thing that got me really bad was the blinking. Seeing the thing blink really fucking, like, sold me on it. Of course, looking at it now, this is such a shitty camera with shitty night vision that, like, it very possible it's not blinking at all. It's just the quality of the camera. Say whatever you want. That was a genuine reaction. And this was, I believe, the video that skyrocketed Stan Romanek into popularity in the paranormal field, because this was, for the time, a pretty good video. My favorite story behind it, as you can imagine, Stan gets a lot of detractors for all this, because, you know, skeptics are just the most fun people. And I remember he said that he took the video to a professional videographer or something, and he said, yeah, they said that to recreate this video would be $50,000 to make. And a paranormal team went, yeah, we did it for $90. It was very funny. But that is the video that Stan is most known for. When I was a kid, it really got me, because the thing blinks, and that's crazy to me. But looking at it now, it's probably just a shit camera mixed with my childhood mind going, that's real. So, and then we have another video that I don't think it's as famous, but I just love it for how stupidly funny it is.
No, nobody outside.
What does Grandpa Gray mean?
No clue.
Is this the video? Is this my favorite Stan Romanek video?
Oh well. Oh my god.
Yeah!
Holy shit. Oh my god, what's it doing? Holy shit. Oh man.
And then he just...
Where the fuck did it go? Oh my god. I can't believe it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Oh, that is my favorite Stan Romanek video. It's so fucking funny. I don't know why. So funny. He just slowly moves out of frame. I don't know why I find that video so funny, but it is the funniest thing in the world to me. And every time I see it, I fucking die laughing. He does have some other video and photo evidence that I just don't find interesting enough to talk about, so we're going to go through the most interesting thing. He definitely claims to have alien children, as any sane man does. So he claims that on one of his abductions, he was taken to a room, right? And there was another woman there, right? And then they both go into another room, and there's a bunch of children there, right? And the children call him daddy, and they're all, being like, you know how children are, and him and the woman are like, I guess these are our children, and then I think that's it. And then when Stan is giving a speech at a paranormal convention, he sees the woman and is like, oh my god, I have kids with you. And I can't get over it, because this man just cheated on his wife and created the most devious... He had an affair and thought, I know how to cover it up. We were abducted, baby. It's just the funniest thing. Imagine you get caught cheating and you're like, babe, no. It was the aliens. So yeah, the doc shows this alien child that likes to come visit Stan, and this is the most obvious Photoshop I've ever seen. Ew. That's so terribly photoshopped. How do you not notice that? How do you not notice a full person? But what is that gonna do? What was the point of the rotation? And then they show a picture of the girl at a conference, and I just feel like we're bullying some poor girl with a deformity. It seems kind of fucked up, but who am I to say I don't have alien kids? You seem very oddly okay with this. Now we're just being mean. Now we're just being mean. What does that do? Oh, Lord. After that whole thing, it seems him and his wife are pretty complacent. Not complacent, but yeah, he seems to be pretty alright doing all this, and she seems to be... it's so sad. She seems to really believe everything that he's saying, and I feel like... I don't know. Because, to me, with the amount of stuff, right, that he has on video and that he has claimed, even if 80% of that is fake, 20% of it is something, you know? And I don't think he faked every single thing that happened to him, but I'm pretty sure he faked a lot of it. And for his poor wife to just go through all this and know that he's in love with another woman, and it's because of the aliens. That poor woman. As far as I can remember, nothing else really happened after that point. I'm sure he had a few other, stunts and videos and whatever, but nothing that I can remember. And then in 2015, he was actually caught faking evidence. He was filming a video. I don't know the context of it because I can't find it anywhere. But he was filming a video where stuff was alleged to be like throwing around everywhere behind him. But on the video, you can see him just throwing it behind himself. And he came out and said, "Yeah, all right, you caught me. That one was fake. But everything else." And now we come to the point that I'm sure you all clicked on this video for. In 2014, Romanek was arrested for possessing and distributing cheese pizza. More than 300 images and videos were found on his home computer. He was released on a $20,000 bond, and he pleaded not guilty to all charges after refusing a plea deal. Not a smart move. And in 2017, he was found guilty of possession but not distribution of cheese pizza, and I believe he was sent to prison. Yeah, he was sentenced to 2 years in a halfway house and registered as a sex offender. He is not allowed any unrestricted access to the internet, and he can only speak to children under very special permission. And to this day, he claims that he was framed by the government. Yeah, that's not a good look. Before you judge too quickly. Let's see. No way. One of their sources was fucking InfoWars. Fuck you. Oh. When you say don't judge too quickly, and then one of your sources is fucking Alex Jones. Nope. Not listening to you at all. To be fair to him, it is a known thing that many viruses can put those kinds of files on your computer, right? But I've heard of people, downloading maybe a game or something that's a little sketchy, and they end up with those files on there. That was what happened to Sad Satan. But no one ever claimed that the government did. Yes, he claimed that the government did it, and when he brought this to the court hearing, the district attorney said, "We will not take any falsified evidence," as he had brought apparently video of the government planting this on his computer. And the district attorney even brought up the fact that Stan tried to frame his stepson into being the one to plant this on his computer. Not a good look. And with some unknown illness, missed several court dates, and he was resentenced in November of 2017, if I'm not correct. No, he was resentenced in November of 2020 with 10 more years of intense probation, and the judge said, "You are not taking responsibility for your crimes." I feel like he hasn't taken responsibility for anything, being honest. It was all the aliens. Aliens did everything. Weren't you paying attention? Aliens did everything. Oh, man. What if all this is true? That'd be crazy, I guess. Listen, I'll be the first to say the amount of stuff Stan Romanek has claimed to have gone through. It is so crazy to think that he set up every single one of those, right? Like, it's possible he did, but I am under the belief that at least a couple were genuine, or he thinks them to be genuine, right? And that's fine. You know, this could be genuine. That video could be genuine. I don't fucking know. But at the end of the day, he has admitted and been caught faking things, and he is in prison for child porn. So I refuse to believe a word he says. This man is something. Time I discovered Stan Romanek, his story sounded pretty incredible. Because when you go and look at the stories of alien abductees, it only happens once or twice, right? And the people who claim to have gone to these crazy cities in the outer reaches of outer space, they sound a little crazy. But Stan didn't ever make any claims like that. He was like, yeah, they took me, they did some medical stuff, and I came back. They have some sort of interest in me, so they keep bringing me up. And that was what made me like, maybe he's telling the truth. But now as a grown man with bills to pay, I look at those videos and I go, man, easy to fake. Again, I don't believe that every single thing he ever put out was fake, right? I think he believed his own bullshit to a degree that even when he knew he was faking stuff, he still believed that it was happening to him. It kind of feels like, what's that called? I guess like Munchausen syndrome, but not that. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like he definitely believed his own delusions, and that was definitely not good for him. As for the whole cheese pizza thing, don't know where that came from. Maybe he was always like that. I don't fucking know. Maybe the aliens did it. You don't know. Moral of the story, don't piss off the aliens or they'll fill your computer with cheese pizza. I think that's it for today. Stan Romanek is a man I've wanted to talk about for quite a while. I remember thinking he was the coolest thing in the world back when I was a kid, and then rediscovering him because he got sentenced for stuff like that. Woo boy! And before I leave you, I want to say special thanks to my patrons. That's right. You should have seen it at the beginning of this video, but these are my special duty patrons who get their names shouted out. Thank you, Bunnet. Thank you, Ghostly Caden. And thank you, New Man, to get shouted out, Danny Boy. If you want to figure out how you can get your name shouted out at the end of my videos, link is in the description and right here, I think. Looks weird from this angle. I also have the Discord down in the description if you want to join the pit, make friends. I'm going to hopefully start having more stuff to do there. I want to have game nights and just sort of get in the VC and chat type of nights. So, you know, I'll work on figuring that stuff out fairly soon, hopefully, when I have the time. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Your viewership means the most. A like would also mean the most, if you don't mind. And a subscribe, if you don't mind. Do it, or the aliens will get you and put child porn on your computer. But that's it for me. I have been that one punk. I did it backwards. Right? Do I do this? And then, no, I do this. I got it. I remember my outro. I have been that one punk. Peace. I believe in your Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. 'Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo.